Christianity is under attack. Open Doors watch list tells us nearly 6,000 Christians were murdered for their faith last year. Over 5,000 churches were attacked in the same year. Extremism and violence against Christians continues to rise. Since we handed Afghanistan to the Taliban, it has risen to number 1 in the list of most dangerous countries in the world to be a Christian. Christians are dying around the world, being tortured, imprisoned, persecuted in horrendous ways. And what are we doing about it? We're quick to take on board refugees from Islamic countries who may have conflicting values and could cause disruption in social cohesion. But would it not make sense to prioritise our brethren with shared values and beliefs? In my opinion, they'd find it easier to integrate. Whilst persecution is growing around the world, we enjoy many freedoms at home. We have the protection of religious freedom under the law, but that hasn't stopped intolerance from growing in the UK. Dr. Richard Scott, as an example, a British GP, was investigated by the General Medical Council for praying with his patients. Nigel and Sally Rowe, who I'll be talking to later, questioned their son's Church of England primary school around trans issues and were told that misgendering a child is considered transphobic behaviour. My friend, the Reverend Bernard Randall, was fired from his role as a chaplain at a Church of England school for telling pupils they had the right to decide for themselves what they thought about identity politics. Doctors decided it was in Archie Battersby's best interests to die when his family wanted to keep fighting for his life. Mayoral candidate Maureen Martin lost her job at a housing association for expressing Christian beliefs on marriage. Christy Higgs lost a job as a pastoral assistant in a school after sharing concerns on her private Facebook about the politically infested relationships and sex education, which many, including myself, believe has become politically infested. Dr. Dermot Kearney was investigated after providing emergency life-saving treatment to unborn babies for women who regretted taking the abortion pill. And Mary Onowa was pushed out of her long career as a nurse because she wore a cross necklace. Unfortunately, this list goes on, and I don't have time to go through them all, but it seems it's no longer socially acceptable in this Christian country to hold Christian views. Why are we so intolerant of Christians in the UK? It's interesting to see people who claim to promote tolerance, diversity, equality, and inclusion are more often than not the ones destroying our Christian heritage, from campaigning to remove historic monuments from our churches to renaming streets and schools. I experienced a glimpse of this firsthand recently. You may have noticed I wear Orthodox Anglican garb on a Sunday because I rushed to the TV studio straight from church. What's known as choir dress has been standard Anglican dress for hundreds of years. It's English clerical tradition, my uniform, if you will, a cassock, Geneva gown and preaching bands, topped up with a surplice and scarf whilst I'm actually preaching. Now, I received many messages of support last week celebrating such an open Christian witness on mainstream television. But the response I received from certain so-called liberal lefties was very telling. I won't name drop them for legal reasons, but popular authors and a certain Nigerian member of the royal family. Now, I am a good sport. I can take a joke as well as the next man, but this is nastiness meant to berate and humiliate. This is not jovial banter. It's the woke way. There's a heavy anti-Christian bias to a lot of this rhetoric. I highly doubt we'd see them attack an Orthodox Jewish rabbi's robes or imam's tunic. So as a Christian minister, I forgive them. They're ignorant, they know no better, Luke 23:34. But as a conservative commentator, I challenge them. Sure, ridicule Christian faith leaders. We live in a free country, which celebrates the freedom of expression. But be fair, be balanced with your satire. You've mocked Christianity, now do Islam.